Your Spaceship Music Collective. This is Sick Set Bro, a misguided adventure through the social fringe of the music industry. I'm your host, Dom Maple. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Sick Set Bro. It's me, Dom Maple, and we are live once again, and I'm joined by my brother, lifelong friend of mine, ever since I came out of the womb.
Good guy.
He was there, right there. It is the one and only, the prestigious Money Mike, cash register, and of course, the only cowboy in town. I don't know what to say for you. Like, it's been an ongoing joke that I don't know.
I say nothing just to see how many times see when you run out of stuff to say.
The issue is that you don't help me, and I need some sort of guidance on a nickname every week, and it just changes. And we're calling you Dallas tonight because that's all I can see on your shirt there. This is Dallas. And he's also from Dallas, which is...
Cowboy in town came from?
Yeah, Dallas, the only cowboy in town. And this is Sick Set Bro. It's a music and entertainment podcast brought to you by the good folks over at Your Spaceship Music Collective. Thanks for joining us tonight. Play along in the chat, leave us some comments, ask some questions. Just get involved in the show, everybody. We also have a YouTube channel. If you guys go over and subscribe to that would be great. Follow the Your Spaceship Facebook page. You can follow the podcast on Spotify. You can do all that stuff if you want to be a team player. But we got a full show here. We'll get your night in. We'll get your Wednesday, your humping day. Is that what it's called? Humping day.
Hump day, not humping day. It's just humping day.
Humping day.
Stu's been doing it wrong. Do you have any sexy music on the sideboard there?
We all know what time it is. It's humping day, man. Yeah, so, I mean, we got a couple of bits and pieces to get through here. So, Kanye West, I got some news there, which is always fun for this podcast. We got DMX in the hospital, which is not good. We got a name change from a band called Vale, who we really like. They changed their name recently. And I got some things to also complain about. So, there's plenty to get through. But I suppose we'll start out on a high, I think, instead of starting with the sad news. So we'll start with something that I have not heard this. I haven't heard this in a long, long time. Is it yeah or is it no? Nobody knows it's yeah.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
Man, it's been so long since I've had some Kanye news to bring to the show. Usually he was just he was in the news every 5 minutes. Well, I suppose he was running for president, I guess.
He still has been, but
that's gonna do it. That's gonna get you in them papers. But no, the most recent news is that we got a Kanye West documentary coming out, which is super, but is exciting for me. Like, as much as I make fun of him, I'm a big fan. I like Kanye. He's kind of nuts, but he's kind of genius, but he's kind of egotistical, and he's kind of cool, and I like him. He's kind of a lot of things. He is releasing a documentary apparently later this year, so they're saying. So that sort of came out of the blue, but Netflix bought it for like $30 million.
Which is nothing. If it's the Kanye West documentary, that's nothing.
That's walking around money for Netflix. That's just walking around money.
To value a Kanye West documentary at $30 million with the amount of people that will see that?
I don't know. I would need to, I couldn't even pretend. I have not worked in the film industry for many years. I'm working.
You were given NFT advice a few weeks ago. I think you can lash out on this one.
Come on. Invest now in Bitcoin.
But
I'm telling you, the prices are gonna go up. The prices are gonna go up, kids.
You think look at all the documentaries that made massive amounts of money. Like, just say Tiger King. Nobody knew who he was, but that blew up. Like, you're talking about a Kanye West documentary.
Does anybody
Yeah.
know how much they actually sold Tiger King for, though? Because the
I
thing
don't
was
know.
that
I still haven't
nobody
watched
knew
it.
it was going to be as big as it was, and it was all footage that had already been filmed, which they didn't really think was going to blow up the way that
Yeah.
it did. It'd be interesting to know, like, how much they actually
Hey,
sold
do you
at.
know who likes Tiger King now and who's scrambling for views? Jimmy Fallon. But anyway, that was a side note. But I think that Kanye West documentary is going to be. You remember The Last Dance? How big that was?
Yeah.
Non-basketball fans watch that.
I know.
Yeah.
I would need to look up. I was like, I don't know if Netflix releases these numbers. That's the problem with Netflix in general. They don't release their numbers. They don't tell you like how many viewers they have. Like they keep all that stuff hush hush. So you don't really know how many people are watching or how much revenue
Oh, it's gonna be.
technically it would have made because I mean it's not a box office. So like how do you deduce how much money is made from a certain thing?
I know, but you have to think. Uh, Again, Kanye West documentary for 30 million.
Well, I'm trying to think of like how much did Dave Chappelle get paid to do those two specials?
Was that 100 mil?
I'm
Like
pretty sure
80 million?
it was like 80 or 90 mil for like two specials
Yeah.
from Dave Chappelle. But I suppose at the same time, I don't think Kanye's really had to do much either. Apparently, this documentary has been what they're trying to say is 21 years in the making or something like that. I think it literally has footage from the 90s of this guy that he's worked with for so long, and the reason that we know he's worked with him for so long is because I think he made the Through the Wire video, and he made the. I read it somewhere and they said he made the third version of the Jesus Walks video. I was like, there was three? I didn't even know that. There's three Jesus Walks videos?
Yeah.
All right. So apparently he made one of those, but I remember Through the Wire. Not that there was much to that video, but is he just going to take the old Through the Wire footage, put it in there and say it's a documentary?
If there's as much like there's a new dissect thing with for Jesus on Spotify, and that's interesting, and that's only audio, and it's talking about one album, and they still obviously go back and forth with his history and stuff. If that's that interesting and it's an audio thing on Spotify for one album, I don't know what a 2 hour or whatever it is documentary is going to be like with like all access.
Yeah.
I suppose it all depends as well how it's made, because like Dissect, I feel the guy that makes the Dissect podcast, Cole Kushner, he can make everything interesting. I wasn't too sure going in because I was like, oh, he's doing Jesus, this is gonna be weird, but I'm sold already. The two episodes in, I'm like, I'm hooked. I need to get it every week, see what's happening, like several years ago that I didn't know about. Yeah, so you got Kanye on the season of Dissect. We got the documentary coming apparently later this year. So I don't know, I'm excited about that. And then we could have like a whole episode. Oh, we should like live stream. We all watch it together.
That would be such an
That would be
idea.
cool. That was that's like the culminate. This is what we've been working toward, guys. We've been working towards this our whole lives.
Oh, we'd
I
have
wonder
to
when it's
live
coming out.
stream
It
it.
could be like the 100th episode or something of Six
know.
Up, bro.
I know, oh, man. Like, we gotta
Imagine if it
we,
lined up.
we might have to crank out like a couple of 30-second episodes just to get there at the
just
end.
to catch up.
It'd be like I don't know, like Guns N' Roses return. One episode. That's an episode. I don't know why I thought like Guns N' Roses
Next
return. What is
episode.
it? 1987? I don't know. Why did I go there? Yeah, we should totally do that. I mean, obviously we couldn't actually show the thing, but it's
It'd be
like
like a watch along party type thing.
yeah, watch
You'd be
along.
watching
We'll all
us
watch.
watching the show.
Yeah,
Off-
that
and the
sounds
show's
like
just
fun.
off screen somewhere. That's
That
entertaining.
sounds like
That's more
super
entertaining
fun.
than watching the documentary.
I mean, they do that on like they do that on Twitch and stuff, where they have Twitch parties where people have been watching like The Expanse on like a
Yeah.
third party screen, and then you just interact with chat and stuff. Which is
Yeah,
It
there's
doesn't, I was just reading there. It doesn't seem like it's gonna shy away though. It says it's like it's
Oh, yeah.
due to cover like the death of his mother and everything,
Yep.
and it's gonna go right up to the presidential run. But they don't know if it'll go to his pending divorce with Kim and stuff as well.
There's still loads of time to film that. There's still
there's
loads
still-
of time to edit that in.
There's still time. We'll get that in the end there.
If the guy can change a whole 24-track album in 24 hours, he can definitely do a
It
documentary.
might be like his albums. They might add some like DLC content on to the end after it's put out.
If it's Kanye West, then we will not get this documentary this year, and instead get something else, like a fucking, I don't know, like a mini series or something. I don't know. It'll be something similar to a documentary, but it won't be. It'll be a fictional, like science fiction movie that he's made. I don't know. He'll do
video
something
game.
fucking weird, but I just don't believe anything that actually is said about that man anymore, because anything that he's involved in, it's like last minute. It could all change. It could all change at the last minute. The rug gets pulled, and we're left with something weird. I can't even think of anything weird enough now because
Here.
NFTs exist. It's like I want to say something strange, and I was like, that's probably selling for $30 million itself.
I just made that connection in my brain though. It just popped into my head there. Do you think this is kind of like, guys, I need some money for this divorce. Hey Netflix, do you want to pay for my divorce?
Why not?
He's pulling the Chris Rock. He's like, hey, I'm gonna make a stand up.
Netflix is very good at helping comedians through divorces and issues. It's like all of a sudden they get a special about it. Let me talk about
helping comedians through divorce since 2008.
let me talk about all the things that I did wrong in this comedy special and make a lot of money off of it. And then I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm back.
It's like that. I don't know if you guys. I know you guys don't watch South Park that much, but there's that South Park episode where basically the joke throughout the whole episode is everybody just keeps like ringing the Netflix offices and they just greenlight absolutely everything because they just have so much money. It's like the stupidest shit. Yep, greenlit. Off you go.
It's good. It's good, man. Just keep going. Yeah, you know what's also like some positive news, although I suppose you can't like you can't judge it off of one movie, I guess, but like obviously the whole world was a bit concerned with the pandemic now that so much like movie wise has moved to streaming services. They're a bit concerned as like how do movie theaters come back from this? Like people aren't gonna go to movie theaters anymore. Apparently like Godzilla versus Kong or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
It's like it's doing amazing in box office. Like not it's not streaming. Like I mean, it could single handedly bring back cinema. Like with the amount of money that it's making, it's insane.
Oh, bye, Mike.
See you, Mike. Later, peace. Mike left the chat.
He was like, King Kong, I'm out.
King Kong, see you later. He must be on Team Godzilla.
Maybe. But is that not the crazy thing? How different media platforms can benefit from things not being open. Like, say movie theaters were open and people seen King Kong versus Godzilla, say, I'm not going to go watch that. I'm going to go watch whatever. I don't know what would be out. Say Tenet was out at the same time. It's like, oh, Christopher Nolan movie. We have to go to the cinema to watch that. And it's like King Kong vs Godzilla. We'll watch it.
Yeah, and that's what
And
I
can
think
sit
people
at
are.
home.
Yeah, that's why I kind of hope we get that like hybrid model of both together. Because like I would like to have the decision. The worry before was like if you give.
What happened?
I don't know if nobody else can hear this, but whenever people join the chat, some lady talks to me and tells me that they're there, and it looks like I'm losing my mind on the chat. But she also tries to tell me people's names. She actually tries to say it. So whenever you come on, she goes Nan. No, not even. The D is silent apparently.
Say Nans.
Nance is online. So whenever Mike comes on, because his name is insane, it says at hungry_GH0ST has come online. So yeah, I heard that and got very distracted.
There he
He's
is.
back.
So
There he is.
So that wasn't just me, was it? No,
What? It was just you.
it was just me that dropped. Out?
Yeah. Yep.
We just
You
thought
were
you
gone.
were. We just thought you were really like you were a King Kong fan.
I have no idea what happened.
We
Because
thought maybe I was
you two
talking too
guys
much about
froze.
King Kong.
You know, the weirdest thing is you two guys froze, right? And my screen was still moving fine. I could see myself moving and all. I'm like, am I live by myself?
That'd be hilarious.
Put on the
What is
spot.
going on?
What would you do if like everyone dropped out? I know what
I
I
would do exactly what I did do, was leave.
The show must go on. Nah.
Fuck that, guys.
Ding.
I'm not holding this down by myself.
Brilliant.
I just you
No,
gotta
I
be able
honestly
to
thought it
improvise,
improvs.
baby.
I
You
honestly
gotta be able
thought
to
it improvs.
improvise. You gotta just like pick something up and go.
Oh, a Molotov in a pie.
That's what you do. And then everybody sings along at home. They're all going,
Or,
yeah!
or that kills the conversation.
What? Oh, well, if I'm by myself, there's no conversation to be had.
It's true.
It's the only way to get by. As long as everyone that watches is a redneck, we're good.
We're good.
So who would win in a fight, Godzilla or King Kong? I'm pretty sure that's where we're at in the conversation. That was definitely why I was talking about that, right?
But say when movie theaters open, will you just like stay at home now to watch a blockbuster movie?
If it's offered, I think there's certain movies that I would watch at home. I don't know, and I don't want to feel bad about that. That's the thing that I think.
Do you know the only reason
Is
I go to a
interesting.
movie theater is to hang out with mates and possibly have a meal before or after?
Yeah,
I zero enjoy. If I'm only going to watch a movie, I can watch it at home.
Yeah, that's completely acceptable, man. I mean, that's why I do most things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go and do stuff. I go because I meet
I don't
people
wanna be
there.
outside.
I have never wanted to bowl in my life.
Yeah, well,
I've
that's-
never wanted to play bowling ever. But I'm still there because there's people there. Do I go bowling by myself? No.
Do you know what?
well,
I do-
how do we know you don't go bowling by yourself?
I can guarantee that I do not.
Maybe a secret bowler.
I probably
don't-
do miss bowling more than going to the movies.
Yeah, but you're also one of those freakishly good bowlers.
I
for
mess
some
about.
Reason.
I do through the legs and whatever and fuck about.
I'm quite convinced there's like a secret room in Andy's house, and he's like, "Oh, don't go in there," and it's because there's a bowling alley inside. And he practices like all the time because whenever we go, he's like fucking Hawkeye.
The three houses beside his house are actually empty. They're just
Actually,
all his,
bowling
his
alleys.
lane.
Oh, he's
That'd be
like old
hilarious.
school. Do you know why they call it bowling alley? Because they used to do it in the alleyways. That's why he learned it on the streets of Portugal.
Well, in back home in Jersey, my mates Michael and Dan used to call me Pins.
Pins. I was gonna say
That just sounds like you have really skin. It sounds like you have skinny legs if you're called pins. That's what I imagine. And then it'd be like, nah, it's just because you're good at bowling. Oh, Sean says I can't get drunk and smoke in a cinema. Decision made. That is true. So you can do that in your own home and watch a movie.
One of those dorks that loves the movie going experience. I actually like to see
Nerd.
my movies first time in the cinema, big screen, and all that there. Sort of.
I think
I go to
it depends
IMAX
what
for
it
all
is.
the good movies and stuff.
I'll just sit close to the TV.
Yeah.
What was the last two times that I went to go watch? When did I last go to the cinema? What did I watch? Wasn't The Last Jedi. That's probably why I don't want to go back.
I'll do that, put me off cinema forever. I was just like, I'm never going to the movies again. That was the worst experience of my life.
I legit think it was. What did I? When did we go? Fuck.
I don't know,
I
dude.
can't remember the last thing.
I
we all
mean,
went to see
you
it.
said The Last Jedi. Did we not all go and see The Rise of Skywalker together? Did you not go to that? I can't remember. Were you so put off by The Last Jedi? You know what? I give up.
No.
I give up.
No,
Don't want to see
no.
the conclusion.
No, I think I did.
I think you did too. I think I forced you to go, and we probably shouldn't have.
Would that have been the last thing then that we seen? As
No,
like a
I
big
don't think so.
group together.
What
or-
the hell was it? Oh no,
Endgame?
the last thing I went to go watch 1917. That was a great movie.
I still haven't seen that.
I seen
was
that
a
at home.
great movie.
Actually, that is a great movie.
Oh, Mr. Cinema, seen it in his house.
That is
Here.
a movie you do want to watch in the cinema. That is a great movie.
I go to the movies
that
to
like-
watch all my big films.
When was that actually out? Was that like whenever, or did I? just-
1917. It's in the name, dude.
Well, that's obviously why I didn't catch it in the cinema. I wasn't born yet.
It's never been more obvious. Yeah, I don't know. It won a. Did it not win Oscars whenever
Oh, it was great.
Oscars were still
was
like
great.
happening because
It's so cool.
the
It's
world
like
wasn't
one
dead.
big long version of that Always Sunny episode where they make it look like one take, but it's not one take.
2019, somebody's got us covered. And they also say you would think drive-in cinemas would be a bigger thing right now, and
They really didn't take advantage of that. They done it like at the start of lockdown, and then I don't know if there's like too much cost involved or it's too much of a hassle to put on, but it's like they done it once and then they didn't do it again, and I don't know why. Because
I personally just think it's this country. I just think people are like,
No.
nah, not for me. Movie in a car?
Here,
No,
but
that's a bit wild
you
for
say
me.
that,
Like,
it was friggin' packed out.
Yeah,
There was
I've
like
seen the pictures.
the one that they done like up at the Odyssey, because they done them a couple of different places. There was like maybe 4, 5 movies or something like that. And me and Jade went up to see The Goonies, and it was bunged. Like it was absolutely full. I honestly think they could have kept doing it from what I've seen, anyways.
Drive-in cinemas would be cool.
I just don't think the place is warm enough. I feel like
Maybe.
you need to be warmer, right? Because I
Possibly.
don't know. I don't know. I gotta say right now, I'm saying this of a place of how I've imagined it. I've never been to drive-in movie theater, like ever.
You're in your car that has the heater.
I know it. I know it does. Well, Jesus Christ! What are you gonna just sit there idle for like 2 hours? It's just I'm gonna have to get more fuel when I leave here. Just what a waste. Just destroying the world,
Doesn't use that much fuel to idle. but
killing the
also-
ozone layer.
but
Everyone
also-
together.
You can't keep the engine on forever either though, because that's a drive-in movie thing. They like remind you to like shut it off every once in a while, because otherwise the amount
'Cause
of
everyone
exhaust
would-
fumes would
Yeah,
knock
everybody would
everybody out.
die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You know what I'm imagining is like it's a very specific thing, so I'm sorry. Probably nobody knows this. There's an episode of Futurama where like all the robots party for like one last day on Earth because a comet's gonna hit the world, but then they realize that if they all work together and fart at the same time, because they like blow all this methane gas whenever they fart, it's like they all do it at the same time and they actually move the world slightly over, and that's kind of what I think is happening at drive-in movie theaters.
Hey, and Futurama was created by a guy. He done The Simpsons, and
Yeah.
he is a time traveler, so that could happen.
That could happen. It's all the, I don't think so much that all the cars will move the world, but I think they'll just burn a perfect circle in the ozone layer right above wherever the drive-in movie theater is in Belfast.
Also, why not just do
and
it
we're
in the
dead.
summer? Like, just do it in the summer. Like back
Yeah,
home in
it's already
Jersey,
warm.
they do in Howard David's Park. They do a giant screen, and everybody sits in like the big park thing, and they watch it on like the theater, outside theater.
Well, you see, that's why I'm convinced it's a big weather thing and it's the country and what people want. Like, I do think a lot of people would go for the novelty, but it is too cold and it's too rainy all the time. Like,
the
to
summer?
sustain it.
Yeah, well that's the thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
in the
have
summer. Have you lived here?
Oh yeah, but I mean, there's a
Jesus
few.
Christ.
You can plan 2 weeks of something. Just have some sort of a summer event.
I plan my
Especially with
wedding. I plan my wedding for June 20th. Most likely day to be sunny. It rained. It rained that day.
True.
Especially with the fact as well, it's not like an old day like drive-in movie anymore. They have like these like proper, I don't know if they're LCD screens or whatever, but it's like daylight doesn't even matter either. So technically
Yeah.
you can show movies during the day when it's warmer and stuff too. But what I think is funny as well is obviously like back in the old days when they were doing the drive-in movie theaters, I imagine this wasn't a thing, but they literally have like breakdown trucks there on hand because somebody's just gonna have left their car
their
like
lights on and
but
stuff,
not
yeah.
started the whole
Exactly.
time.
Like all the stuff, the weather. It's like they had drive-in cinemas in the 70s where they barely had working anything. It's like, come on, we're
And for some
2021.
reason we can't do it now.
Nothing worked in the 70s.
It's like, what the hell? It's like, do it at least for 2 weeks or something. Do it for a month.
Yeah, I
Somebody
don't know.
out there sort
It just
drive-in movies.
everybody's like talking about it so positively. I will not be going.
I
know
don't
it.
have to go.
It sounds like a nightmare to me. I'm not gonna be comfortable. I'm in a car, like away from the movies. That just sit in your house.
It's your
Jesus Christ, just sit on the couch. There's a TV right there.
It's very next to your most ideal movie watching situation. It's like you're not going to the cinema with other people. You're in your own car that you know. You're familiar with your own car. You're not close to other people that you don't know.
You're gonna drive somewhere, be in an awkward
park.
parking situation. It was like there's so many people around. I gotta park up.
How do I get there? Where do I park? Do I have to be early?
You know that's a concern of mine.
He just worries way too much.
I worry about driving places, man. I worry about the parking situation everywhere. I was dad before I was a dad, and that's always gonna be true.
I reckon it would be cool. Because I remember, again, that How Davis Park thing, they showed every weekend, they showed a Bond movie. And they went from start all the way. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
See, I'd be so down for that.
I don't know, dude. I just, like, I've never been comfortable in my car. Like, I'm not sitting there like, hey, this is really comfortable. I wish I could sit here for 2.5 hours.
Put your seat back, lounge back.
No. It doesn't. It's a car seat. It's like, it's just straight. There's no comfort in that. I got a nice comfy couch inside. I'll just watch it there. Thank you very much.
I used to have a job where I like drove for my job, so I was in my car like 9 to 5 all day long.
Oh man, that would have been the worst thing though if you went to drive-in movie theater. It's like you're at work.
After that, yeah.
Man, I'm doing overtime tonight.
Get me out of here.
Doing overtime, watching the Goonies. Right, well, I didn't really. I have notes here,
yeah,
and
that was a massive tangent because I kind of missed. So, like, who wins in a fight between Godzilla and King Kong, or what was?
Well,
that
the people that made the movie apparently, because it's doing really well.
Right.
And I do like the thought that during the pandemic that this is the movie that everyone's like, let's all go see this.
I've seen some sort of article about that. It's like Christopher Nolan didn't see of cinema a big dumb action movie did because
now,
that's all people want right now.
Is that because people are just coming round to just being used to watching blockbuster movies in the house, and more people just tuned in? Whereas at the beginning, people were kind of unsure, and now.
No, well, this is the thing: is that theaters are open, so it's like people are going to movie theaters, like in the States and stuff, to go watch it. Like,
oh, right, okay.
That's why they're saying it's really taken off. So it's like the timing is good, but it is also like a movie to be like so far removed from everything else. It's like, I will watch a giant monkey fight a lizard. That's
well,
cool.
in that case, that's probably people just rushing out just to be out. It's like, oh, is that open? Oh, I'm gonna go see it.
But that was the point. Is like the concern was gonna be people will get too used to being able to watch stuff in their homes, so they will choose not to go out. And it's like, no, doesn't seem true at all. Making sweet money, and I think cinema's gonna be fine.
See it. Well, again, it's probably because people hadn't been out for so long, and that was the first movie that they're allowed to go out and see. Put another movie out like that in a month and see how much interest there is.
Very true. But you know, the whole
Godzilla versus Bigfoot, perhaps.
No, just like something like I don't know, what would come out.
God, that fight would be over quick though.
Some dumb movie, and people are like,
sure, right?
I've had my fix of going to the cinema. I'll wait for the next
Spy Kids 40
Spider-Mans or something.
We
Has
only
there not
went to
already
3D.
been one of those? I feel like
There was
that's probably
3D. There was Spy Kids 3D, but I don't think we went 4D. And if we did go to 4D, let's go 5. Just putting it out there. Spy Kids 4K. Just really high resolution, zero plot.
restored from the original version for all the fans out there.
Yeah. Man, Robert Rodriguez made... I can't even say his name. Robert Rodriguez made Spy Kids, so that's something.
Hey, any word on the what's it, Mario Lopez KFC movie yet, or Colonel Sanders movie yet?
I haven't heard any more about this. I've been waiting to watch it.
The romantic journey.
Yeah.
See, that could come out. That would if that would have come out in place of King Kong and the fucking thing, that would have made box office. That would have broke box office records.
Yes. And we all would have went.
They wouldn't have been able to show that at drive-in movies. It's just too sexy.
It's too much. Oh no, but they should.
KFC.
I was gonna say they should show it near a KFC, and then they give out.
Supply
like
KFC. Exactly.
everyone gets really hungry for KFC after.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nowhere in my notes does it say talk about Godzilla versus King Kong or KFC or drive-in movie theaters for 30 minutes. So
this is what we do.
I think we gotta swiftly move on to actual things that I planned for the show. You know,
too much structure.
Too much structure killed the soup. What? I don't know. That's nothing. Yeah. So yeah, the crappy news is DMX is in hospital. Very famous rapper DMX. I'm sure most people that listen to the show know who he is, anyways. But yeah, it's not looking good. You know, like it's extremely serious. He's in critical condition. He's on life support. I really don't know what's gonna happen here. I mean, it doesn't. It really is not looking great. It seems like he overdosed on drugs, but he also had a heart attack. I don't know. The guy's had drug issues for years and years, and he's I think it was only a couple of years ago he's meant to go on tour, and he ended up checking himself into rehab instead. And God, I don't know, man. He's such a legend in the rap community. It's horrible to see right now in the middle of all this as well. But I seen that there was like family and fans and stuff done like a vigil outside his hospital, and it's so emotional.
They came out in the big bikes, like
the Rough Riders, yeah,
like in the Anthem music video.
Yeah,
that was great. I remember
we listened to him so much back in the day as well, but I didn't realize how friggin' his past was and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I grew up on that. Well, grew up on that guy. He is a very, when you hear him speak, if you watch there's a thing called Drink Champs, and if you see him on that, it's like, dude, you are wise. Well, he's wise, and then it's like, I'm gonna take crack. It's like, well, you're not that wise.
Yeah,
but
he's got his vices.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that dude's special, but unfortunately,
I just don't. I mean, I really hope something changes here. Like, I really do. But yeah, it's not looking good. Like, I won't be surprised if we hear something
doing,
bad.
Brain function tests or something to see. Like,
he's on life support.
He's on life support, and they're checking the function of his brain. He's in a vegetative state.
And they've already had the kiddos visit him and stuff.
Going one by one, yeah, which can't be a good sign, really. So.
Well,
yeah,
that's all I've been playing this week anyway.
I know, man. That's God, it is. It just takes me back. I listened to him so much whenever I was a kid, it's so weird whenever you hear stuff like this and loads of people are like, yeah.
No,
like, but I think it was
a
generational thing, man.
Oh, see if you actually listen to him, like see his first two albums, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, and like then there was X and stuff, and the lyrical stuff he's talking about is deep and heavy. And,
he was just most people obviously just know X gonna give it to you, but he had so many good songs, dude. So many good songs
from the movie
Deadpool.
Cradle to the Grave.
Cradle to the Grave, yeah. Cradle to the Grave.
Is that the one with
Jet Li?
Jet Li.
Yeah. I loved that movie. That movie was so cool.
Was it Aaliyah? No shit. Was Aaliyah in that? No, Aaliyah was in Romeo Must Die, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the other movie that I associate with Cradle to the Grave is Romeo Must Die. Because I remember somebody at the time calling it Romeo Wants to Die or something, and I thought that was quite funny. And I still think of it like that in that title now. Romeo Wants to Die.
By the way, Aaliyah, have you heard her R.I.P. Have you heard the thing behind her masters? Where one doofus owns it and won't release it. That's why her songs aren't on platforms.
That's annoying. Yeah,
like nobody can buy it out.
This is what we've talked about on the show before for people that maybe don't understand what it means to own someone's masters. Is like people just assume you're an artist, you can release your music or whatever way you want, or if your estate owns it. It's like, Jesus Christ, those people that made music and became famous, like pretty much anything pre 2010s, just didn't know like what they were getting into, and they got so screwed over. And you sign with these labels, rights are getting sold around the place, people own other people's masters. Doesn't make any sense. It's just very frustrating. And then you get into a situation like that where there's an artist that's passed away, and people, like fans, want to hear her music, and you would assume her estate would be happy to release that any unheard music or any music in general to platforms, but no. It's up to the person that owns it legally, which is just disappointing. I don't know. It just sucks. But that's the world. Sue me, sue you, world.
It was Wild Wild West way back when.
Oh yeah, back then it's like you thought you were doing great, but that's the problem. You didn't really realize that that was the case, or else people, people were stuck for money and sold it and thought it was okay because they didn't know we were gonna be in this situation with streaming at this point.
Yeah.
They didn't know what this was gonna be. So,
And
there's
freaking,
in the comments there, older artists are now selling their publishing rights. Bob Dylan's for 13 million. I actually did read that recently, which is crazy. Some people are just like, "Yep, go ahead."
yeah, but that's also, see, it's different because that's Bob Dylan and he's probably made all his money already. It's like, yeah, here you go, take this. But it was actually freaking Aaliyah's uncle. It's actually Aaliyah's uncle.
Oh, is it? And he's the one not
Makes
doing
it
it.
worse.
That is
Because he
worse.
was the, it was Jive Records, and he was running it.
So, like, are you saying it's been a while? Right enough, I actually think I have just like some popular Aaliyah songs on a playlist, but they're not even from one of her albums. So like she's
like
not on
Rock the
Spotify.
Boat. If you try and look for Rock the Boat, like I don't think you'll find that on
Yeah, it's
Spotify
not there,
or anything.
no.
Because I had an album. It's back in Jersey. I can't remember. I think it was just self-titled. It was a red album. She's like one of my favorite female artists of all time, but you can't even get that. And it's like, yeah, some greedy guy just doesn't want to.
Yeah. I could be wrong here, as I know Sean's saying about older artists selling their publishing rights. I really am not versed on this. I just know from like stories and stuff I've read, but I feel like I read something before that, with the whole current situation revolving around Taylor Swift, I thought that she did own her publishing rights, but she didn't own the masters. So I think the issue was that she had certain rights, like she could veto certain uses for her music. So it's like, say, oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna use your song in this commercial. She could say so many times within a time period that she didn't want that, but she could only say so many before it was out of her control. And plus,
Yeah, so
the majority of the
anybody that
money
was
doesn't go
smart
to her.
that was trying to use it would give her the stupid vetoes
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
and then it's
exactly.
like, well, this is the one we actually want to use.
Yeah.
She could
Vetoes
re-
are a stupid thing, like, aren't they? Because
Kind
like,
of,
if anybody's
yes.
trying to combat that, it's just like, yeah, just give other options first.
She can re-record them, right?
But that's what she's
Re-release
doing.
she
them.
did,
Yeah, that's what
yeah.
she's doing. Yeah.
It comes out on Friday. Her first record, Fearless, I think, is completely re-recorded and releasing this Friday.
So this is to have complete control over where the songs are used. Then
Yes,
is that
she has re-recorded every single song on that album. Her plan is to record like her first 5 albums or something, redo them, so that she owns everything. Like everything about it is
But
hers.
still, technically, whoever owns the other ones can still put those songs wherever
Yes.
they like. Also,
Yes, but the thing that Taylor Swift has that a lot of people, even famous people, don't exactly have this is ridiculously dedicated fans. So now
Yeah, so
everyone
they
is just pooling
actually
resource towards listening to any song that has Taylor's version and brackets beside it, because those are her ones. And that it'll eventually take over, and I assume that a lot of media will want to support her in this, and they will end up using her versions of songs for TV shows or commercials. They'll reach out to her and be like, it's good publicity for them too. They'll be like, we support you, Taylor.
yeah,
Woo."
yeah, they want to be seen to be doing the right thing.
Yeah. Even if they don't care. But I mean, she's such a huge name. It's kind of like she's gonna have success with that. Like I fully believe that she will screw over the corporations that did it, which most people couldn't do. Which I'm sort
Nobody
of seeing out of the
else
corner of
has
my
done
eye.
it.
Somebody's saying about Wheatus doing it, which we talked about before. Wheatus did that with their Breakthrough album to try and get their rights back, and they played the whole album and recorded it live, which I remember they did that. I think we spoke about this on the episode I was talking originally about Taylor Swift re-recording. Wheatus done Teenage Dirtbag and like tried to get it as close as possible to the original, and I think they got it so close that they got like a copyright strike, which is how you know you've done it well. So they did do that, but it's just the Wheatus following compared to like the Taylor Swift following is it's probably just never, people are out there still listening to the Sony version of Teenage Dirtbag. They're not, it's only diehards looking for that, whereas Taylor Swift has like a globe of diehards. Like most people are just happy enough to support her no matter what. So
Yeah. Don't make fun of her, whatever you do.
Jesus Christ, don't jump in front of her at an awards show. Just don't do it.
Don't make a joke. Don't make a joke about how many people she slept with in a sitcom or nothing. You'll get cancelled.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Do you not know about that? No.
No, well, I know that. I mean, this is the thing. No, I haven't actually watched her documentary, but it was this whole thing of like it's the same with loads of like the Britney Spears documentary was really trying to bring this to light for female artists that have been in the industry, and it's like they were kind of like slut shaming Taylor Swift whenever it was not.
Though, you know.
I know. Well, it was a joke, but I think it was the
and
thing.
then and then she knows she has that power of fans, and she went, "Go get him." And it's like,
Yeah,
it's a bit of
I
an
know.
abuse, you know.
I think it had just been going on for so long. It probably wasn't the right thing to do either. But it was like
But it's also a
the
joke.
media constantly was just like berating her for like, oh, she's going through guys, like whatever, you know. And it's like, dude, come
But
on.
was she?
It's
Yes.
probably not.
Was it a joke? Yes. Are we cancelling all jokes now? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the problem with that sort of stuff is though that if it was a guy, it's like it's not even a thing. It's not.
No, he's
There's no
yeah, he's
scrutiny over it.
yeah, he's almost
Have you
congratulated.
heard some female comedians? Come on,
No.
bruh.
I'm not talking about comedy though. I'm talking about the media in general. That's the issue. Comedy's different because I'm all for it. Like comedy, you know what? I don't really care.
But
what
that's
they say,
where it
'cause
came
that's
from. It came
that
from a
is the whole
sitcom,
point.
and then she lashed out at the sitcom, and then her fans, what they call her fans, what they call yous.
Swifties.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Gotta get Swifty. I don't know. I
I don't know
remember.
Taylor Swift.
You don't know
At
her?
No.
Who is he? Dude, no, I remember this, and it was a sitcom, but I think it was an ongoing problem from the media in general. It's not just one sitcom. It was like every news anchor, every magazine. It's like people were just constantly going on about it. I assume it would get to you after a while, especially whenever you're compared to somebody else that was maybe the male version of her stardom. Doesn't exactly get berated the same way for being with a lot of women. It's kind of almost expected that they would be. And the problem is whenever she's dating guys, which whether it's a lot of, it doesn't really matter. It's like why are we complaining
That's
about
what
it
I
and
mean.
being
I
like,
don't even know what you guys are referencing, but that's just my opinion about it. It's like, why would you get on anybody about dating a bunch of people? It's like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
let people live their own life. You know what I
totally,
mean?
man, totally.
But I still don't actually even know what
It
incident
was
you
a
guys are
sitcom,
talking about.
and it's supposed to be funny.
We get off of it. I defend my girl. Defend my girl.
Can't have fucking jokes anymore.
I stand by. Anything in stand up is like okay. Even you know what? Even comedy shows is fine as well. People do get far
But
too
that's where
offended, like,
that's
but-
what I'm saying. That's where it came from. It was a skit in a comedy show, and she's
Yeah.
seen the comedy show. She went on Twitter to go against that comedy show, and all of her fans got them people cancelled.
Yeah, and they probably like overreact. But this my point was more. It's not just that it only came from there. It was like I feel it's bubbling from everywhere.
Maybe.
Like it became popular culture. It's you know
It's
the
like
best.
John.
way to-
It's like John Mayer's a male slut.
Yes, yes, he is. And she was with him as well, was she not?
There you go. Hey.
No, like the thing is the best comparison for that is the Britney Spears thing. Is like if you look at the mental breakdown that woman had and how the news, comedy shows, SNL, everything was like, let's laugh at it. That's really funny. Instead of Jesus Christ, this girl's having a complete mental breakdown. It became a comedy thing. And then it's like, yeah, it is used in like a sitcom or it's used in a TV show to be like, oh, it's like I'm pulling a Britney Spears, I'm losing my mind. It's like, yeah, that's scary, man. That's
That's the thing where you have to watch. Yeah, it's like whenever everybody jumps on board, it's like there's a
It's
person behind
normalized.
the poking the fun sort of
yeah,
thing. And
it's
that can be
normalized, but
dangerous.
I don't think it starts in a writer's room in a sitcom personally. I think it starts with the news and it starts with tabloids and how they react to it, the initial reaction. So whether it's Taylor Swift dating guys or Britney Spears having a breakdown, However they jump on it, if they're going to be sympathetic, then most people will know not to touch it or be more sympathetic towards it. But if they're okay to like laugh at it, then all of a sudden it becomes like a free for all of like, let's make jokes and let's laugh and whatever, which you can about very serious topics. I stick by that. It's just, it's hard whenever it's something like that. I think it just becomes too normalized and everyone's
but also
like,
her dad is a nutcase as well.
I know, never met him. Mr. Swift.
If you watched the documentary, you would have.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen him. Talking all about Britney, I haven't seen him. Yeah, no, her dad is crazy though. I know I'd read enough about him. Like, what's that whole thing of like he owns all the?
Yeah, it was like what she does. Like she that's why she didn't really tour,
Fiduciary
because
responsibility or something like that. It's like all the decisions financially. I haven't watched this either.
I was about to say. So that's why she never went on tour, because anything that she would earn from a tour would go to him, or the majority would go to him. And it's like, and she's like, I am not touring for this guy because he is making my life hell right now.
That's fair.
Again, jumping in, having very little knowledge as well. But did I see a thing recently about the whole Britney Spears thing in that documentary and stuff, that she came out like saying that she wasn't happy with the way it was all portrayed in the documentary too? Or am I making that up?
I don't know.
There was certain things that she wasn't happy with.
Right.
She might come up with one like herself. She might pull a Kanye.
This is the problem with documentaries. It's like people just like film them in such a way that it's like, you know, documentaries like before used to be trying to like take a middle ground or whatever, but I feel like documentaries now in the Netflix era is like, I'm not trying to stay on the fence and just show what is happening. It's like, I need to create a story. They like whoever is making documentaries nowadays feel like they're amateur filmmakers. It's like there has to be a narrative, there has to be a story. You have to be like bringing people one way or something. You know what I mean? There has to be some sort of moral or something happening at the end of the documentary. That's not a documentary. That's a movie. You know what I mean? If you're leaning everything towards one direction.
It's a real life movie. I mean, there's so many examples of that. It's like the first one I really noticed was Making a Murderer, of whether like, God, I don't really know how I feel about that, because the evidence that 99% of the world has seen is through the lens of he's innocent. Yeah. Which is quite hard, because people try and say, well, they're trying to show both sides, and it's like, they're not really though. They're really pushing it towards he's definitely innocent. Yeah. And it's like, it's kind of hard because I'm seeing it for what they want me to see. Like, I mean, that's very hard to make any sort of informed decision.
Understand that point whenever you get it shown to you from all one side from a documentary.
I feel like there's most people can't, like, how are you not gonna watch that and be like, yeah, he's in it? I mean, I watch it, I'm like, exactly, that dude's totally innocent. And it's like, over time you're sort of like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't, like, how am I supposed to know? Like, that's such a one-sided documentary. But then you've got people like I believe Louis Theroux to be like one of the best journalists ever, because he's like, even though he's there, he lets people just make idiots of themselves, and he kind of just stands back, and it's like, that's up to you. If you want to decide these people are nuts, then that's your call. He's just there to be there.
Just when you said Louis Theroux, I was going through iPlayer to watch an episode of Snowfall today, and I seen him with the Tiger King guy.
Yeah, because I was like, you know what the funny thing was, is he
do like a documentary thing about it or something?
No, but I'm pretty sure, right? Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. He did a Tiger King, like, say Tiger King, Joe Exotic. He did an interview thing with him before Tiger King. Oh, really? Like, way back. Yeah, because you know what Louis Theroux's like. He fucking travels the States finding crazy people, and yeah. So I think he was doing a thing where he already met him for a documentary, but it didn't light up the way Tiger King did, and then that came out, and then people were like, oh my god, Louis Theroux met him before, so he's probably gonna go back and meet him again.
And there's the link between Tiger King and Louis Theroux / Britney Spears, and because he provided the freaking animals for her shows and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, we got a couple of comments here. So we're being told for the Britney Spears thing, she tweeted trying to defend her dad and trying to reassure people she was okay, but the tweet was really worrying and just made everyone more concerned.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, and then we're being told that yes, Louis Theroux definitely met Joe Exotic before, talking about Americans with dangerous pets.
That's the worrying thing, and that's why I don't believe anything, and that's why I like to be able to like ask you guys like on a weekly basis, or like ask people that are watching as well, because like this is the thing, you scroll through your phone and you see headlines and stuff. Do you know there was this thing, and I think they were beta testing it because it disappeared from my phone, but it was definitely on my phone at one point. It was a Google thing, but you flick through your phone and you see headlines just, and sometimes that's how I take in news. It's like, you're not going to be able to read every news article, but whatever you're trying to stay up to date, so you read some headlines, you know what I mean? You click into news articles that you have the time to read, but like other ones you kind of just scan and go, if somebody brings it up in conversation, oh yeah, I'm aware of that. And as much as what I know is the headline that they've printed, but Google put out this thing where it's meant to be like a button at the side of your news feed, and it's like click for context. So you're meant to press it, and it will show you the same news article from multiple different places, and the headline is always different. And it's scary how different it is sometimes. Like, I used it in particular on like the whole Meghan Markle's stuff that was going on with the royal family, and sometimes it was just very, very boring headline, like context of like what was said in the interview and stuff, and then the other ones were like sensational headlines and stuff. And it's like, if you're just scrolling like me and like trying to pick up like, what's going on today or whatever, and just like absorbing some headlines, and like you read these really like sensationalized headlines, it's like you think that's the whole story. That's the worrying thing. It's like there's a lot of people that will just like not scratch the surface. You know what I mean? Not try and get both sides of the argument. I know we've talked about it before.
I find that frustrating though. It's like people need to like do their own research, and
yeah, true.
I don't think that's a lot to ask in a time whenever it takes me 2 seconds to do like a little bit of research. Like, I mean, I have a little electronic brick over there. I can find out most things. Yes, you're gonna have to check more than one place, like, geez, and then inform your decision around the multitude of facts that you have. But
that was my point. Is like my whole thing is, that's why I feel like my whole existence is, anytime I talk about any subject, it's like, even though maybe I have actually read about it, I always feel like I go in going, well, I don't know anything about this, like, sort of thing, like hold my hands up right away. Even
but
if,
I think
like,
that's
I've read about it, it always makes you nervous because there's so many different versions of the same story.
That's the problem, is we don't know everything, because everybody doesn't know everything. Like, I mean, that's just, there's gonna be information unless you're the person involved in something, and then again, depending who you talk to, it is their experience of it. Everyone, like, Mike's experience of an event is different from Andy's experience of an event is different to mine. That's the problem. And if people could just appreciate more your own experience of the event and know that it is different to somebody else, utopia.
But with the headlines thing, obviously, because there's so much media, obviously a headline needs to stand out. So they're gonna overdo.
I was gonna say that, Andy, is like, that's the thing for especially people in journalism too, is there's an art to it. It's like, people might want to say they hate it, but some people love like trying to work out what is the headline that gets the person to stop and be like, whoa, what was that? Because it's a beautiful art.
It's like when we were talking about old school album covers, and you're going through the record shop.
Oh yeah. You need to see something, be like,
what's this?
What is that? Yeah. And headlines are the same, as long as they don't. It's hard because sometimes it feels deceitful. So it's like, how do you find the balance of, it's not a lie, but it's definitely the most interesting part, and maybe it's overly exaggerated and you need more context. Like, because you can't give it all on the headline either. You gotta, like, you gotta just let, like, yeah. You gotta have that bit to get you in, like. But, yeah, I suppose, we'll move over. We'll do a quick commercial break here, and then we'll be back with some more after this.
We got commercials back.
We got commercials back. Yeah, so we'll hand over to that. So if you guys need a break or a toilet break or anything going on, that goes for everybody in the chat. You got 5 minutes. If you want to wrap your ears around all the music we've been talking about on the podcast, we run a special playlist over on Spotify. It's called Distant Sound Waves. Here over at Six Sepro, we always thought, well, what's the gosh darn point of doing a music podcast if you can't let people hear any music? There is a whole lot of legal mumbo-jumbo and copyright issues that prevent us from actually doing that on the pod. So we thought that was a pretty good compromise. We make a playlist and it gets updated every single month. On the playlist, we have things like all the new singles from local homegrown talent that we've talked about. Maybe some of the bigger artists that we've had conversations about, we'll put those guys on there. Or maybe it's just something new that we stumbled across and we've been talking about on the podcast. It is all there. You can find Distant Sound Waves by searching for it on Spotify, or you can find the links all over our social medias.
Hey there, fresh-faced creative in a youthful advertising demographic. Does your reading material have a distinct lack of cultural nourishment for your slowly decaying, malnourished soul? Stop! Put that garbage down. Everyone knows you shouldn't get your news from old mediums like paper. That's 2/8th century. Plug into the information superhighway, loser, and read a zine. It's like a magazine, but without all that dumbass paper. Read Stranger Days, the arts and culture e-zine. It's got music, comedy, art, poetry, tarot cards, cinema, year spaceship, comics, podcasts, and Jim Carrey. Read Stranger Days now, because between you, me, and your trusty canine companion, we know fluffy cuddles and e-zines are the only way to push back the existential dread slowly consuming your every waking moment. Hold back the darkness today with Stranger Days. Available now at strangerdays.wordpress.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the show.
Did you re-record that first one?
No,
It sounded different. You re-recorded that first one, didn't you?
I didn't. I
Oh, it
just
sounded
swear I
different.
did. I swear I did.
I didn't hear the first one. I was away getting a beer.
Oh, dude, I definitely don't re-record it. I can swear.
No.
Definitely not.
Upgraded PC. Just sounds
It just
better now.
sounds better, I guess. Yeah, maybe you're hearing it at a high fidelity that you never heard it before. That commercial. Speaking of Stranger Days, e-zine that we're advertising there, I think they got a new issue coming soon. So you should
we're back.
jump over there. Like we said, jump over there and yeah, give it a read. Give it an electronic read.
Just the headlines.
Just the headlines.
Just scroll- just-
all the
just give it a
time.
scroll.
Yeah, so I got this.
Time to get real mad. Time to talk shit about the things we can't stand. Ain't nobody out there's getting a pass. Smart enough, dumbass.
Doesn't really work. I'm unscrewing the cap.
Well,
Can you hear that? Shh, everyone. Shh, you ready?
We just turned into an ASMR channel.
Oh, it's gross.
That is a delicious year. When was this made? When was 2020. That wasn't a good year. A fine year. Yeah, I got some Pepsi Max today. What are we drinking, fellas?
Oh god. Again, combination of a coffee, which I had before, and Pink Monster, which I finished,
Oh,
and
bro.
now I've got
Oh
fucking
boy.
water.
And water.
Always like three drinks on the go. all
Andy's
the
got to
time.
have like three different,
You-
yeah,
You are a
He's got-
well-hydrated man.
I am.
three different vibes going. Three different vibes going. It's kind of like healthy, classy, and trashy all
Just
at the
trashy,
same time.
exactly.
It is quite the concoction, though. I'm
is.
concerned. the coffee
Well-
and Monster is especially concerning combined.
Well, how long have we been going for? We've got an hour. This was about 2.5 hours ago, and then this was like earlier on today because I was sitting at my desk doing work and stuff, and then the water's for now.
I just know for a fact that like anytime I've ever had like a coffee followed by a Monster or vice versa, I have had literal shakes. That's pretty bad.
I'm wondering how you haven't needed like about 20 pee breaks yet.
Yeah,
train bladder.
it is a train bladder.
I seen myself drinking coffee on Tuesday just before bed, and this was 10:30, and I still woke up at 5.
No.
I think my tolerance for coffees or caffeine has just gone. It's just stopped.
Well, welcome to Smarten Up Dumbass. It's the segment of the podcast where I talk about things that irritate me, and for some reason, we discuss what drinks we have at the start now. That's like a thing that happens now. Yeah, I got something. I like it when I find something we can all get on board with, and I feel like we can all get on board with this one, fellas. I feel like this is a mistake. I'm gonna try and share my screen with y'all.
Oh dear, he's pushing the limits, Mike.
I'm pushing the limits.
I knew this was gonna fucking happen. I knew this was gonna happen.
Let's do it, boys. We can pull that off. We can pull this off.
See what? But whilst you get that set up, we'll talk about Jimmy Fallon. Before he had a TikTok dancer on his show, and it's like, "Hey, Jimmy Fallon, how desperate are you for views right now online?"
TikTok's the thing. Here, man, you gotta stay up with the times. There's nothing else for it.
Yeah, but you should see it.
Gotta
like
be down
it's
with the
what's her name?
kids.
Madison Ray. She does TikTok. She copies TikTok dances from other people that do it 10 times better.
As if TikTok dances couldn't get lamer.
It's like
To
no, but the
copy
thing is,
someone's.
the original ones
There's a
are
lot of
really good.
gun
But
things, I
oh
think.
my god, if you see the video and he's on stage and he's doing like the Bob Dylan video where he's got the sign and he's dropping the
Yes,
signs and he's got
yeah.
the names. He's doing that and it's the names of each dance and she dances like the whitest.
I don't know, dude. I can't. I'd say this is. Don't go. Yeah, I was just gonna say.
And then Jimmy Fallon's playing like Among Us and stuff. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you
He's
not
right.
getting like cool guests on?
It's super relevant, dude.
It's
Super relevant.
not.
I like Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, but
I say that every time. I was like, I like him. I don't know. I still watch the Tonight Show. I laugh at it. It's fine. I was just gonna say, as somebody that actually enjoys TikTok, on like loads of people want to just shit on it. It's like I actually watch it all the time, and there's some really good stuff on that. But there's also all the dancing, and it's just annoying. It's like I skip the dances. I skip through them as quickly as possible to get to the comedy skits.
You know, all those dancers on there are probably like, "Fuck these guys with this other content."
Yeah,
We've been on here
yeah.
from day dot.
I think just what gets me is like obviously it's like a trend that took off as like a TikTok type dance, so it's like a simple dance. Like it has to be something simple where you just like move your arms and your elbows, and anyone can do it.
There's loads of points.
Yeah, there's loads of points. It's like
Power.
everything's at right angles, and it's like, is this gonna be the dance of the future? Like, like 2050 or something? Everybody just dancing, like moving their arm at right angles in the
Tootsie
club.
Slide was a TikTok song. If
It
you think
was.
about it.
But this is the thing, is that's my point exactly. Is like people know to feed into it, because the whole deal is like if you want to make a TikTok, you're gonna want to dance like that is quite simple and has simple moves, because everybody and their grandma wants to do it.
Yeah.
So
Were we
it's
not
like
saying about this like the other week.
Yeah,
It's
we've
like
said
they
this
work
before
out
on
the
the show.
dances before they work out the songs. Nearly.
Well, if you're like Drake, he intentionally like sent his song over to that guy Tuesday or whatever,
Yeah.
and asked him to make a dance for it. So like, and then it was called Tuesday's Live because he's like, well, I'll name it after that, and then he sort of like moved the lyrics around it a little bit. But it's like it was definitely a big intention of that song was to have people do that dance. But he's always been good at that. It's it's the same as In My Feelings or In Your Feelings or what's that song called? I can't remember. But that was the whole like the go outside the car thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And walk along. So anyway, can you see my screen, everyone?
No.
No, cool. Well, that's good to know that that's not
Cool
working.
story,
That's
bro.
why I was like pandering until you got a song.
Yeah, no, it clearly didn't work then. Hold on, let me try and share again. I'm gonna try a second attempt.
Oh, is it maybe the layout? Do you have to change the layout as well? Because there's whenever you share a screen,
Oh, I have no idea.
is it like basically you have to add like a fourth person?
I don't know. There we go. There we go, everyone.
Right.
So,
Inception.
so you can see my screen now. Yes.
Is this the future of face masks?
Is this the future of face masks?
Oh, is
Bas?
this freaking
Oh, you know.
Will.i.am?
Yeah, it is.
I thought it was cool.
Andy. I thought we could all get behind this together to hit it unanimously as a podcast.
Right, let's start from the beginning though. Right.
So, right, Will.i.am, very late to the game, very late to the pandemic. Let me make money from I was about to say a global tragedy. How do I make some cash from this? Will.i.am, the future of masks, he's decided to release this mask. I think it's called, what is it called? A super mask, but there's no S. Well,
Yeah,
there's an S in
it's
an S
spelled
in
with an
mask.
X.
It's
There's
spelled with an
X
X.
at the start.
There's no S in super. It's an X. So as if it couldn't get more annoying, it's super with an X. So it's called Super Mask. It's gonna cost $299. It's out tomorrow, and it features dual 3-speed fans, active noise cancelling audio and microphone capabilities, Bluetooth 5.0 connectivity, LED day glow lights, and a magnetic earbud docking system. All right.
Dude,
You
like,
want to see it?
How much does a Xbox Series S cost? Like,
The X,
Yeah, no, the
449. Oh, the S is
S?
240
is that
But-
dollars or
pounds.
just get an Xbox?
If it's
like,
pounds, then that is the same price. So
yes.
here we go. There it is.
I mean,
Yep. That's a thing. For all the visual listeners, that's something that's happening right now in the world. And Will.i.am trying to make $300 off people buying this mask. Nobody's gonna buy it. Sorry.
No, do you know what my opinion is on this? Personally, there is people with way too much money in the world that will probably buy that, and he's making luxury masks for stupid people with too much money. So if he sells a bunch of those, more power to him. He's smart
I guess.
business guy, I think.
You
I
know
don't
what?
know.
I feel like he would have been smart if he did this a long time ago.
Yeah,
So
well,
why is he waiting
is
to
very late
this
to the
point?
game.
He was very late to the game. I was like, dude, what the hell? I really want to try and find. Oh, here's the quote of why he's not a smart guy, Mike.
Okay.
We are living in sci-fi times, Will.i.am said. The pandemic, he said, is straight out of a friggin' movie. But we are wearing masks from yesterday's movie. So I wanted to make a mask to fit the era that we're in. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. Called Super Mask and made of silicone with athletic mesh fabric on the sides. Fits snugly around the bottom half of your face. Comes with 3 dual speed fans, a Honeywell HEPA filtration system. I don't know what that is.
I like the 3 fans, as if like one wouldn't be enough to get air in, or what is the fan doing? Getting your
I don't know,
carbon
but it also
monoxide out,
says-
or is it getting fresh air into your face?
What it also says that the
Maybe
company is
that's-
careful to say it's not medical quality. Wow.
After all that money.
Yeah, as well as noise canceling headphones, LED lights for nighttime. As if you can see. Rechargeable battery, Bluetooth capability, allows you to play music and take calls. Has a seal over the nose to keep glasses from fogging, and makes the wearer look sort of like a sci-fi rhino warrior. Who wrote this?
Thought of
Yeah.
everything except for the fact that it's not medical grade. He even
That it's
made
not
sure
medical
that your
grade, we're-
glasses wouldn't steam up.
It's not medical grade. People won't need them for much longer. Fingers crossed. And on top of it, like, I gotta watch that bad boy. Is this
Although
not
you
the
say
whole thing
people-
about masks?
People might
Is
not
like,
need them for much longer. It could be a whole culture shift. You might
Well-
find that we could turn into Japan and lots of
well,
people.
I know.
I don't know
I've
about the UK, but maybe America and stuff like that. There'll be mask wearers and there won't be, maybe.
I made this point before, and I sort of like asked people what they thought. Loads of people just think, no. It's just gonna. People will
Everything's
just
go
go
back to
straight
normal.
back. And I was like, I don't know. I think there'll definitely be people like, I mean, maybe we'll look
I
at
would
them in
have-
like 5 years and think, oh, those are those weirdos that are still wearing the mask. But there will be a few people that just go out because it is hygienically better. You know, it's like I haven't got sick in like a year. That's
That's
great.
what I was gonna say. I would have considered during like winter season, whenever
Yeah, like flu
people
season, just in general,
do
yeah.
spread stuff. You know what I mean? Because like that's the whole reason that like Japanese people do it all the time is like to not like mistake
Asian,
work
Mike,
and stuff.
Asian. Not just Japan, Asia.
Well,
Asia.
yeah.
Asian.
Well, I know it's very prevalent there. I
Yeah.
don't think I'm offending.
Well, it's
anyone by
yeah,
saying
China,
Japan.
China as well. Yeah.
It's a joke!
But yeah. Anyways, my point being, yeah, it's like, as you say, like I haven't been sick in like well over a year now. It's like maybe I
Yeah,
would like whenever
yeah,
it comes
sure.
to winter and then like stuff spreading.
Yeah.
I might just keep doing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's good for me. Like whenever I'm working and stuff, I think it does keep, like, this is what I keep thinking is like people who work with the public. You know, people who work in coffee shops and restaurants and retailers and stuff. It's like one of the worst things is how sick you get because of like the exchange of money. Which has obviously died down because a lot of people go contactless and stuff, but there's still the exchanging of goods quite a lot. But now that it's almost normalized to like wear gloves and masks and have big screens in front of your face, it's like definitely shouldn't take the screens away, in my opinion. Like, I mean, why would you take them away? Like, all these companies have spent all this money to put a big plastic screen in front of your cashier. Will we just get take it away again? It's like leave it there because like if there's a sick person, there's a less likely chance the person behind the till is
Yeah.
gonna get sick, which is
Doesn't
good
really
for
do anything
business
to
as
take it
well.
away, like, does it?
Yeah, well, it's good for business if you want to think of it money wise. If you're not thinking about the person's health, is it's less likely they'll go off sick. So like, you know, it's win-win-win,
Yeah.
win-win-win.
I'm sort of like thinking of people that I know that work in shops and like serve people at tills and stuff. And there was a couple of months ago I got told this story where like the screen's up and everything, and like you get this old guy coming up, whatever, and it's like, you know, obviously they're trying to get people to pay contactless, but he's old, he's still paying by cash, and he coughs his lungs out, and then he proceeds to take the money out of his pocket, the wad, and lick his finger.
Yeah,
And start
yeah.
going through the bills and hand it under the. And obviously,
It's
the person serving's kind
It's
of
the
like.
it's the division plotline.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's
Yeah, so, like,
God. People
yeah.
still be putting notes in their mouth. People still putting the bank card in their mouth and then trying to hand it to the cashier because they don't know how to put it in the machine. I don't know. People are just
Dirty people.
people are silly. People
But
still
also-
wear masks around their chin. I mean, come on. Like
Yeah.
we don't. Or there's like that lady. Did anybody see the video of the lady that was just decided, I guess, to go out and make a big show and a big point? She must have rehearsed this like a million times. It was like somewhere in America, and she goes out and she has a mask on, but the mask is missing the actual important part of the cloth covering the mouth. But like, she's trying to claim that, oh, the shops are saying you just need a piece of cloth covering your nose and mouth or something. Whatever way it's worded, she's like, it is technically covering that. It's like, why did you?
God.
You seriously
People
didn't
just
think you
love
were
to
gonna
be
just go and people be
contradictory.
like, you know what? You have a point there. You have a point, and we're gonna let you. You've came up with something, and it's completely changed everything. That's just like you just went out to cause a fight.
Why do people love to be smartasses? I don't get it.
I don't know. It makes me happier thinking of how long she sat in the house looking in the mirror practicing with this shitty bit of material around her face, being like, and you know what I'm gonna say? You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say it is covering my nose and it is covering my mouth. And it's like, look how stupid you look. The rest of the world, you guys are the real idiots, sheeple. Just, Jesus Christ.
You
People
see how you
suck.
were saying about like the tills and the plastic in front of it and stuff, and obviously people work there every day. Will.i.am's mask could be for people on trains that want to listen to music.
True, but that's what I mean. It's like it's
Or
more
else
of
just get
Will.
like a $5 mask and some headphones that you might maybe already have in your house.
A guy on Wall Street isn't gonna. He can afford that.
This is what I'm saying. It's made for like people
Yeah,
in
made for
friggin'
people.
Too
LA
much money.
that have way
But-
too
and
much
then-
money. And he's gonna sell them. He's
Did-
gonna sell plenty of them.
Did
I'm
we?
sure
I
of it.
I don't have one. I think used to have one, and I know loads of people with it. I don't have an Alexa in the house. Was that pointless back in the day?
It's pointless now.
It's still pointless now.
It's
in
still
my
pointless
house.
now.
All it
Yeah.
does is save me turning my lights on, which is a very lazy ass thing, but I
Yes.
love
Like,
it, and I bought it. And maybe I have too much money at a certain level that I'm spending money on an Alexa when I don't
be-
need to.
To be fair, I was bought my Alexa. I didn't go out and look for it. And most of what my interaction with Alexa is to ask her to make a fart noise for my son. He thinks it's funny.
And
That's
you've done that
not-
in Mike's
that's not a
house as
lie.
well.
I do that everywhere.
He installed that app on everybody's Alexa, any house that he's went to.
Hey, dude. Like, so if you guys are listening in your living room and you have it, Alexa, make a fart noise. I hope that did something
Oh,
to
that would
somebody.
be so.
That's like the old Xbox On thing.
It's just because she starts getting really weird about it, and it gets a bit strange. It's a bit fetishy. I don't know. She's like, ask me to do a. I don't know. I can't even think of the description. Like she will make the noise and be like, "That was a crispy one. Ask me to do a silent fart or say random." It's like it's or say random. It's like random, random. And then you get so far, and it's like, if you want to purchase the
Extra package.
elite fart package, it's just like,
I mean, come on! How can you say Will.i.am's mask's dumb when you've got
Yeah, there's
Alexa
people
doing
selling fucking
fart noises
on the internet.
dude?
genius. Now that
That's
I'm
a
into
market I
that.
could get into.
that is a market. You know why? Because it doesn't cost $299. Costs like 50 cents or something,
Just move
which
the
is still
decimal
more
point.
than I'd
It's
be
probably
willing to.
$2.99.
Man, it's still more than I'd be willing to pay on the street for somebody to fart. Like, how much money would you give somebody to fart on the street? Hey, here's
Hey,
$3.
I'm
Fart for me.
It's like, no, you're not getting the money. I asked for a crispy one.
Oh, Jesus. Random. Let's go with the guy. Here's $3 fart. Random. I don't even care which one. Just do whatever. I love it. Okay, well, this is sad. Sorry. Everyone's tuned
We're
out.
drifting.
We're drifting again. We're drifting again.
By drifting, entertaining, you mean?
That's up for debate. That is up for debate. All right, we got to do the shadowed segment. So, we're going to start with the big news that Vale, a band, we kind of talked about them on the show a couple of times, but the thing about Vale is they've been quite mysterious. It's like we've seen them live, and they have things out there, bits and pieces, but they don't really have like an easy place to find their music. I don't think. I think they've been taking their time to like bring something out the way they want to, and it seems like they're maybe, I don't know, on a path now towards something because they've made a band name change, which is always a big sign of like somebody like, oh, this is it, we got the thing now. So Vale are now called Casual Riot. Is it Casual Riot or Casual Riots? I think it's Casual Riots plural. Sorry, brand new to me. Apologies. So yeah, Vale are now Casual Riots. If you already follow them on their socials, I think they just changed the name there. You don't have to refollow anything.
I think is like a harder process than you would think.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of stuff
I
that
think
changed,
they should be
especially.
applauded immediately for getting the name changed.
Yeah, it was pretty
from the
swift.
existing pages.
Yeah, it was pretty swift.
You say Swift though, but I know a little bit from whenever Winona Bleach done it from R51, and you say Swift, it looks Swift, but I think they were waiting months on the change.
You have to request it, earlier. It's quite annoying.
And I think
and then they'll still have
you actually have to give reasoning and stuff.
Yeah,
Because they
I
had to
don't know.
like give the whole reasons behind why you're trying to. They may have streamlined the process since, like, but
I don't know. But I know on top of that, I mean, you're gonna have the normal issues of like if they have YouTube videos that say Vale at the start of them, like I mean, you're gonna have to take that away. But sometimes whenever people are doing this, it's because they don't want to acknowledge those old songs and they're starting from complete scratch. It's like a new identity. So I'd be very excited with this because they put up the announcement and kind of said alongside of it like they have exciting news coming. Which I know is a cliche band thing, but I'm very interested because like I really want to get stuff from these guys. Like I just want to have a place I can access their music easily, and every time I've seen them live, they've been fantastic. So I think that would be really cool. I'm excited to hear where they're going with things now, but they're super catchy bands, crazy high energy live. Yeah, just I would keep your eyes peeled for Casual Riots now.
that's the
I think
thing.
stuff will be coming.
Like we have said before, but like bands always do things in different ways, and there's like some bands that put out like recorded records and they sound incredible, and that's how they get people on boards. Other bands play live and they're so incredible live, and that's how they get people on board and stuff. And it's like I feel like Vale were really this kind of underground thing. They played like all these shows, and I feel like that's where their fan base came from. Like to start with, because as you say, it was really hard to find music online here or there or whatever, and they built up this massive following by just the energy and how good the live shows and stuff were. And like if they've got something in place now to get all the whole online presence and stuff, I honestly think they'll probably just blow up, like, because those guys were really cool anytime we seen them.
Yeah, it's very old school to like go that way of like just the gigs because they didn't. I felt like the internet presence wasn't there so much, and the releases weren't even. It was kind of like there was a bit of a mystery around it for me. It was just like, where do I find these guys? Like, how do I get listening to their music? I don't even know how intentional that was, but it made me like stay very interested. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, I would keep your eyes peeled. If you don't follow them, I try and follow them now because it sounds like stuff is gonna be on the horizon very soon. I think last week we talked about Embarcadero were releasing their new single Teleflop. So I have been listening to it since. I think at the time I hadn't heard it yet. So yeah, guys, these guys are. I think they're onto something with this new band. I don't know. Teleflop is very catchy. Like it's really cool. Like I was just listening to it on a couple of drive homes from work, especially in those sunny days there. I know it's snowing recently, so not in those days. It feels like a sunny drive song to me. But it's super catchy. I meant to look it up. I feel like I've seen somewhere that they worked with Michael Mormika for it. I'm pretty sure anyway.
I think those guys have before. A couple
yes,
times,
yeah,
so
yeah.
It's probably pretty good working relationship they've got by now.
I could be wrong here, but I think even from listening from it, it sounds like Michael Mormika's on drums. Like I mean, it sounds like him to me. So yeah, I would get on that. Get over there. I know it's quite a fresh new band on our local scene. So I would start listening to these guys and be exciting whenever shows come back of what form that's gonna take for Embarcadero, which I've learned how to say their name now. So that's also a bonus. Embarcadero.
You gotta roll the R more.
Embarcadero. Yeah, I do feel tempted to say it that way every single time, especially now that they have a song called Teleflop, and I want to go Teleflop, Embarcadero with Teleflop on Esperanza.
Kind of takes takes the romance out of the Embarcadero, and then you go Teleflop, and
Teleflop.
The flop bit. Yeah, I'm not so sure about it.
Flop is never a good word. It kind of just, it doesn't matter what it is. It's like something, and then flop kind of always sounds bad, in my opinion. Trying to think of like a really good word, like what's good, like money. Money's good. Money flop. Well, that sounds bad. It just automatically makes it negative. No? Okay. And then we got, like I said, the new old Taylor Swift
The new
is
old.
coming out. I think I said tomorrow, but that's. Did I say tomorrow? It's this Friday. If I keep forgetting what day it is, but it's this Friday. Normal release day. Today is Wednesday. It's Humpin' Day.
My dudes. If anybody knows that meme, no, cool.
No. Go on.
Somebody will get it. Somebody will get it. It's a guy in the thing. He's like, "It's Wednesday, my dudes," and that's what he does. Somebody will know.
Somebody got that. Somebody got that. Yeah. So we got, like I say, the Taylor Swift record, the new old record, Fearless, coming out on Friday, and we finally have that Flight record that I keep bigging up and talking about. They're releasing that on Friday. I'm very excited. I love Flight, so I don't know. I'm so excited for it. I keep
You got like
keep getting
pre-order
very
and
hyped.
Everything on the go, have you? Or?
No, to be honest, I haven't. You know what? I haven't been ordering stuff in a while. I keep trying to save money. I'm trying to buy my car
Treat
out, so
yourself.
I can't. I gotta treat myself with a car. I want to buy it out. What?
Did you say a car?
Yeah, well, my car comes to the end of finance very, very soon, so I gotta buy the rest of it out. Well, I don't have to, but I want to, because it's the sensible dad move.
I thought the Stu-mobile was on the blink, but no, it's just that.
You need a people carrier. If anything, you need a bigger car.
Well, that's the issue. Is like I've been looking around. I was convinced. I was like, I will trade in my car. Yeah, I'll trade in my car and I'll get a bigger car because I'm a dad now. And then I was like, whoa, bigger cars are expensive. So no, thank you. We'll shove everyone in my little car. It's fine. Babies are okay in the trunk, right? You'll be fine.
On the
You'll be
roof.
fine. You'll be
Just
fine.
poke some air holes in there.
Just Mr. Bean it and put a couch on the roof.
Yep. Then couch on the roof. I get ready in the car on the way to work. Doesn't really feel like that's part of it. But like that would, how would having a bigger car help me? Yeah, getting ready in the morning. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm lost.
The Mr. Bean skit where he's got the
Yeah,
chair on
yeah.
top of
But
it.
isn't he like getting dressed for work or something? Well, I said work. Where does he work?
I don't know. I'm just talking about the skit. I don't know. I don't know the reason. I'm literally just talking
What
about
does
that
Mr.
image.
Bean do for a living? Is a
Why did
question
he-
I
what-
have.
Like, I mean, he had an apartment, right?
He did,
why
so
did
he
he
made a
pay
living
for that?
somewhere. I don't know.
In the
Probably
comments.
probably
Somebody,
benefits.
please.
Probably
Has anybody
benefits.
looked into this?
Probably.
He was probably filling out freaking benefits on the side. Job seekers allowance, but he was getting into shenanigans every time he tried to get a job.
Claiming child benefit for Teddy.
But Ted, I know. That episode where he
Short for
redecorates his
Theodore.
room.
Oh,
You
dear.
know. He
I
puts
just
the-
always-
he puts the explosive in the tin of paint. That's like the best one.
I feel like we're so old right now, but it's you know what?
I
one-
am old. I don't give a shit.
You know what one always kills me is the one where he's on the plane, and then it's like he keeps like blowing up the bag, like the sick bags, to pop it as like a
Oh,
joke for the kid, but then the kid throws up in the
Throws up
bag
in
and
it.
he doesn't know, and then it just like ends as he's about to pop it. That's pretty funny, man. That's that silent humor.
Classic
That's that
comedy.
1920s silent humor.
That's that
I'm all about that.
actual. That's that actual funny TV show.
Yeah. And you know what, Ali? He didn't have to offend anyone. He did it without offending a single human being.
I'm pretty sure somebody that is looking for something to be offended about will go back and watch Mr. Bean and go, "I'm offended."
Yeah, a guy that talks like that. He's copied my voice. I don't know. That wasn't Mr. Bean. That was nothing. It's, occasionally I can say one word as Mr. Bean that sounds good, and then I just never say it again. So like I'll throw that out at some point.
Oh no, that
in
wasn't me
the
trying
next
to be
10
Mr.
years.
Bean. That was me trying to be a person that gets.
He kind of
offended.
sounded like Mr. Bean though. That's what he sounds like. Is like every annoying person in the world. He just always he's huffing and puffing. That's why that's how you do it, Mr. Bean. Is he doesn't really say anything. He's just like.
He grunts.
It's like that's not even words, dude. That's not even words. Definitely claiming benefits. Anyway, has anybody else got anything to shout out other than Mr. Bean?
I did see a really cool Jordan Alatanje live performance with the Ajan Dance Group or something. AJAND. Oh my god. Yeah, and they performed it at Belfast.
Was that the Ulster Hall one? No.
Was it?
I've seen that performance up at a...
Could have been the NI Music Prize, probably.
It was with the Agen Dance Group.
No. I don't think I've seen that.
It was... I've seen it on his Instagram. It was the Wake Up. He performed Wake Up and they were dancing at the front. It was really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
I also seen a thing right before I came on here that I think the Belfast Barge are trying to put together like a Flight of the Conchords quiz night or something.
Did flick past that.
Which I seen very briefly, so I don't really have all the info. But like, you know, if anybody listening to this hasn't been to the Belfast Barge, amazing venue. It's on a freaking boat, man. I'm on a boat, and they're gonna do Flight of the Conchords quiz or something, or pub quiz or something. I don't know, but I feel like there needs to be. Can somebody like put together a 2-piece band, like tribute band, Flight of the Conchords? I feel like we need that at that show. Or even just do it whenever they, you know, they can't afford stuff anymore and they sell both their guitars. Like, I will watch that as a tribute, where they just have to, like, mime. It's the best.
Somebody has to be Murray.
He says, it's the way he reviews them in that episode. It's his review, but he's just like, you know, it's like 2 stars. It's like 2 out of 5 stars. That's not that bad. Oh, I wish it was. Jermaine. It's actually out of 100. Out of 100. And then he's like, Flight of the Conchords, more like Flight of the No Chords by Murray Hewitt. It's like, you wrote this. It's a great show.
Oh, there was a thing I posted on my Instagram last week. Back home in Jersey, the Jersey Art House done a 7 artists done a thing called Roaming Sound, where it's a video of like the scenery in Jersey, but done by a radio presenter called Rob the Bank, and I think somebody from Groove Armada was involved. So that's pretty cool. It was like original music to the video of the island of Jersey, which is pretty neat.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, I think we'll see what release day Friday brings us. That's always exciting. Sometimes there's loads of stuff I'm waiting for, and then something just like jumps out of the blue. You don't even know it's coming. It's like, oh, big release drops. But it's always the Friday. You always got to get ready for Friday. So, but I think we'll wrap it up here, fellas. It's been great. Another great live stream. Another successful podcast, everyone. Thank you, everybody in the comments, everybody who's been watching. You're all very special. Go home. We love you. You're very special. Go home.
Do you not have that? Do you not have that?
So go home. We love you. You're very special.
Can you do like 3 thumping sounds for Biden falling up the stairs?
You know what's the best part? The salute. It's well, it's kind of like that's joint favorite part. I like how he trips on the way up. This is the first time, by the way, he's tripped twice now. He tripped on the way up, but then he like he trips like once and then he trips again, but then he like starts looking at the bottom of his trouser leg. Yeah, he's looking as if these pants are really tripping me. And it's like, it's not the pants' fault. It's because you're old. It's your fault. Stop looking at them like, That's like people who trip and then look back at the ground, being like, you did that, ground. That was your fault. That wasn't my fault. That was you. That was your fault, ground. That's Biden with his pants. Next time, I'll just not wear any pants. Salute.
Salute.
At ease, boys.
And on that note,
check out my teleflop.
goodbye. Oh dear God, no. You've just
Did I ruin teleflop?
Yes.
Sorry.
She's gonna think of Joe Biden's
Teleflop. At ease, boys. At ease. Oh, speaking of myself, at ease. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna leave. Thank you guys for tuning in to 6 Ep Bro. We'll be back again next week. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure to follow the podcast on Spotify. Follow your Spaceship Facebook page and the Instagram page. Follow it all. And the exciting thing that will be coming up, as you know, at this point in the month, every single month, we're going to have a new Distant Sound Waves dropping very, very soon. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. Thank you very much. Peace out, everybody. Prayers up, DMX.